Hello, welcome to Mark Thought About It. My name is Mark. I am your host. Well, what will today's topic be? Well, Mark thought about it. And today we're going to talk about the reasons to not watch ESPN anymore. Now, let me say that when I say that, I am not talking about the games. I'm not talking about Monday Night Football, college games, U.S. Open tennis, or anything around it that way. I am speaking about the talk shows, the debate shows, and even your sports centers. And I'm going to begin with my main reason to not watch ESPN anymore, and that is Stephen A. Smith, the loud, wannabe expert who is always wrong, wants to come across as the expert of all things sports: pro basketball, college basketball, pro football, college football, baseball, boxing, you name it. And if you watch any of the shows that he's on, he'll go as far as to think that he's the know it all to make the predictions. And the problem with him making the predictions is when he makes a prediction, he wants to cover both sides of the prediction. He won't play it fair. And what do I mean by that? Let me give you a couple examples, okay? Stephen A. Smith will say, I'm going to pick the Cincinnati Bengals to win. But that's if Joe Burrow doesn't get hurt. Okay. Slick move. Then he'll say, I'm going to take the Philadelphia Eagles to win. But that's if Jalen Hurts doesn't turn the ball over. Yeah. Next day comes. He comes to work. They say, Stephen A., you were wrong. No, 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 no. I said if he didn't throw the interception, any turnovers, you can check the tape. I'm not exaggerating when I said that. This is exactly what he said. You can check the tape. Made sure that he covered both sides of the bets when he does that. That's your expert. Okay? That's one of my problems with the guy. He will even do that to even basketball. It's not just a football thing. Now, I know I saw it when he said it. He says on basketball pregame, I'm going to take the Lakers to win, but that's if AD shows up. Who does that, man? Just go ahead and make a prediction and go on about your life. This is the type of thing that gives you about arrogance. That the very arrogant person that he is. That makes it so hard to watch him on camera in the first place. Okay, so now we're going to go into the other aspects of what's wrong with this guy. He has an hypocrisy about himself that if a player does wrong, especially off field, then we got to hear the commentary of Mr. Stephen A. Smith about the player doing wrong. Sometimes we have a drunk driver player, which I don't condone. Sometimes we'll have a domestic, which I don't condone. Sometimes we'll have some form of drug being steroid or otherwise, which I don't condone. And he lights up every part of those players. But he doesn't have that same type of feeling when it comes to the billionaire owners. We have billionaire owners like Jerry Jones, Robert Kraft, Dana White, all of these people who happen to have life episodes. and make mistakes. Bring the camera back around to Stephen A. Smith. Hey, Stephen, did you see that Jerry in the 1950s um he stopped black students, he participated in a hate rally and such like that. Stephen A. Smith says, stand down. He was just a teenager. Leave the man alone. First of all, I agree with that. He was young when it happened. But that doesn't mean that those feelings and such doesn't go along with you as you get older and you're the owner of a team. But back to the point of Stephen A. Smith. Robert Kraft had his problems. Stephen A. excused it away. Dana White had the UFC 2000. His wife hit him. He hit his wife. What was Stephen A. Smith's take on it? Dana White is my friend. He's my friend. So I bring those things up to explain to you the Stephen A. Smith effect, which comes around to be the "we sick, massa? Are we okay, massa?" type of feeling that you get from him. It's okay if an owner does something, but it's not okay if a player does it. And because he has this love affair with these owners, this is where basically his arrogance comes from. He feel like he's untouchable. He's got billionaire owner friends. And this is where a lot of the nonsense stems from with this guy. He does not have the years ago guy that he was when he was just a reporter, when he was just a person in front of the camera letting us know what's going on in sports. He really thinks he is the story now. They blowed his head up that big. I'm going to step off Stephen A. for a minute. And I'm going to go to my second point of why to not watch ESPN. And that is Jerry Jones, the owner of the Dallas Cowboys. Now, why am I tying in Jerry Jones of the Cowboys to ESPN? What other owner in any other sport do you know that has a camera and a microphone stuck in their face at the beginning of a game, after the game, during the week, in the off season? Jer, what do you think? Jer, no other owner gets that type of effect, and he doesn't deserve that. ESPN has made him the monster that he is, that he really feels that he deserves those microphones. He's not the player. He's not the coach. He's not giving us anything relevant. And if I could go back to the high school part of it about him, when those cameras and microphones was in his face then, he didn't want them in his face then to answer those questions. They gave him softball questions so he could ease his way up out of that. But the Jerry Jones, owner of the Dallas Cowboys, which ESPN has made him to be relevant, is very pathetic coming from someone who, first of all, the man sounds like Simon Bar Sinister from the Underdog cartoon. Hey, Jerry, your team lost again. Simon says sleep. Nobody went to sleep. Okay, Simon says disappear. But this is what we want out of owners now. It's not just owners, it's just him. And then you turn around and say, well, he's the owner of the Cowboys. So? You mean the Cowboys that haven't been to the Super Bowl since 1996? You mean the Cowboys that only won been in, won 2 playoff games since 2000. How are they any different than the other team? How is he different than any other owner? It makes no sense. This is a creation, and then it gets to be a point where it's normal. Then you have Sports Center come on, and we see the Cowboy, this, that, and other, and then okay, we're gonna have reporter so and so, so and so. He went and talked to Jerry Jones. We're talking about Jerry Jones, who hired his son as his next in line and to be, I guess, the answer man as far as it goes. Because I tell you this, and anybody that knows sports knows this. Anytime an owner has a record like the Cowboys had, the first thing they do is fire the general manager. So Jerry Jones, take this advice for free from me. If I was you, I'd fire the general. Whoa. I forgot to tell y'all, Jerry Jones is the general manager too. He is terrible at both jobs. He's a terrible owner and he's a terrible general manager. So I don't get this love affair with Simon. I mean, with Jerry Jones. I don't get it. It makes no sense whatsoever. And I wish they would back away from that guy like any other losing team would be backed away from. And then you have the audacity NFL to continually put them in prime time games. I understand they got a good name. A lot of teams out there with good names. Chicago Bears got a good name. They've been around longer. So I had fun with that part of it, but now I'm going to get into a very serious part of why ESPN should be backed away from right here and right now. ESPN some years ago ended up being bought and owned by Walt Disney. Why does that make any difference? Well, since Walt Disney has taken over, hypocrisy has taken over. Anytime you watch ESPN programming, there has to be conversation about gambling and bets. Think I'm playing? Watch a game on TV and see the scroll bar go across. Watch Sports Center and see the scroll bar, the over, the under, the spread. Who's the favorite? Who's the underdog? All these things are relevant all through the week. It's talked about constantly. You even bring on the gambling experts to every single show. The gambling experts come to First Take. They come to Sports Center. They come to Fantasy Football. And then they put a small print on the bottom of it like, gambling is very addictive. If you feel like you have a problem, call this number down here. Like that's really saving somebody and their money. It's kind of crazy to me to think about Mickey Mouse and Donald Duck being hustle men for the gambling man. And then to make it even a weaker point, the gambling that's been done on college football and college games is amazing. All the betting on 18 to 22, 23 year olds is crazy. Then you turn around and have these same sickos who up here betting won't leave it alone. Now you want to threaten the 20-year-old kicker for missing a field goal. Now you want to find out where the 19-year-old quarterback lives so you can threaten him. Or the kid that fumbled. I'm not making this up. These kids are being threatened because of gambling lines. And then they give around to making them give them their own shows. They got their own sports shows too. Disney. Gambling, 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 gambling. It started subtle, it started small, and it built up to something real huge and big because they're getting paid to cover to gambling and such like that. Am I the only one that sees this? Am I the only one that's bringing this up? I hope I'm not. I can't believe that I'm not. I got to think that other people are seeing this too. Now I'm gonna say this here. I might have missed it, but tell me, did they put a gambling line on the Little League World Series? Because if you bet on Taiwan and win the Little League World Series, you lost a lot of money. I say that half joking, but I don't know. I just get tired of seeing the bull and calling it straight. So that's got to be a problem with it. I really think that other people have to see that. Now, once again, in comments below, am I overblowing this? Am I doing too much? Am I looking too much into this? Please be honest and let me know. Tell me, hey man, you overthink it. But if I am right, please tell me I am. You tell me you saw it somewhere else, that'll help me too, because I don't think I've seen it nowhere else. So I'm gonna make this a short and sweet one. I got it off my chest. So once again, thank you all for watching. I hope that you will continue to support. I hope you give me likes and subscribe with me. And I'm trying my best here, and I'm having fun doing so. So with that, much love to you all, and I hope that you're doing well out there. Goodbye.